to my ears. Morning here on this Tuesday. I'm your humble host of this program called The Main Event, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he might have been legal tampered with yesterday. Dale Hellestray, everybody.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
Doing good today.
I tell you what, this is a brand new Steve. This getting up a little bit earlier, getting your day started, getting your business show off and running, and now I see you and you're full of vim and vigor.
I don't know about that. Checking something here real fast, folks. What do you mean vigor? What are you talking about here? What do you mean?
Well, you got more energy.
Yeah.
I don't hear the complaining about your evening before very much anymore.
Well,
that was kind of the highlight of my day.
I'm a lull right now. I'm at a lull right. Oh, we could talk about the guy in a motorized rental a motorized riding thingy on Sunday. He was kind of rude to us.
What do you again? I missed this. Was it at
I
the
didn't
races?
talk about it. I didn't talk about it. Yeah, at the races. Guy was just a jerk.
What, were you standing in his way?
No, we were where he was his spot.
Well,
We were taking pictures,
well, get out of the way.
and he goes, "Move out of the spot."
Wow.
So we moved, and I go, "No, we didn't be rude about it." And he goes, "Sorry." He was on a rental. I'm going to say, on a rental.
So do you think he really was?
He doesn't really need one.
Oh,
He was on
okay.
a rental. He's a jerk. So that's only the bad thing that happened that I think of. Only the bad thing that's happened. No, today juices are going because Kobe came in and did the McCollum business and wasn't feeling well. So Ethan's in here running this show now. He hasn't ran a show since Christmas time, I don't think. So he had to remember how to do everything. And so far, we're up, Dale. We have sound. That's half the battle.
You look better, actually.
I look, well, of course. My kid's going to make me look better.
I can't hardly see you. That's good.
What does that mean? Can you hardly see me?
I don't know. That background.
Oh, you're going to knock the background?
Your
I was playing with
shirt.
colors yesterday, and that's supposed to be a dark blue background, and it looks purplish.
It does look more purple than dark blue.
You know what? And it looks weird right now because we were busy getting Ethan all settled and doing all that, I forgot. We'll do the magic on air here, Dale. Turn the
Whoa.
lights off. Turn the proper lights on here.
Look at you with the phone.
Yeah, I can do it all on the phone.
My goodness gracious.
It looks the same, so maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was me. Maybe. Why is that darker on this? Okay, anyway, enough of the production. Yeah, I can play with that. We have two sets of lights back there. One for the curtain when it's closed, and then another one for the backdrop there. Supposed to be dark blue though. But Dale, it's a Tuesday. No Bruce Cooper today. Programming note: he had something come up. He'll be in on Friday with us as well. I think what came up was Bruce Cooper did what I did yesterday. Took a nap, woke up, and saw Gardner Minshew is the new backup quarterback for your Arizona Cardinals.
So did you take my advice and go back to sleep?
Yeah, I was like, well, it's funny because I woke up and Autumn texted me, said Minshew to the Cardinals. And I like Gardner Minshew. I like him as a quarterback, as a backup quarterback especially. Like, I've always liked him. But I looked out on the couch, I look at my phone, and she's all, Minshew to the Cardinals. And I go, I fell asleep and this happens? And she goes, a lot has happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, uh-oh. So don't take early afternoon nap for early tampering day.
Yeah, not on the opening day of illegal tampering.
No, of legal tampering. Legal tampering. I watched the World Baseball Classic, the U.S.-Mexico game last night. That was fun.
Saw a little bit of that.
Skeens, man. He's in regular season form last night. Just poor Alec Thomas on that one at bat. He had zero chance to hit that ball. It was sad. But then again, a lot of people have a hard time hitting that ball. We do have a good story about the World Baseball Classic. These are the things I think I at least watch sports for these, like the Olympics, you know, that person that works at Home Depot and just is like, hey, I'm also good at figure skating, you know, and they go out there and they win gold in figure skating or silver or bronze, and then they're like, oh, and now I'm going back to Home Depot. I'm not mocking it. I'm saying like that's real life stuff out there. We have a story of a guy from another nation, Dale, today that played Japan yesterday. 4.5 scoreless innings against the juggernaut that is Japan. And we'll tell you a little bit about his background today.
Really?
As well, 'cause that's fantastic. We got to look at, we have updates on Corbin Carroll.
Yeah.
That's exciting news.
Merrill Kelly.
Oh, what's up with Merrill Kelly?
They're expecting him to take a spot in the rotation for that season opening series.
Yeah, that's I don't know how to phrase this, Dale.
It's better than being under the knife.
Oh, yeah, overreaction here for his injury?
Whatever it is, like I said, it's better than being out to the All-Star break.
That is true, because if he would have kept pushing it, it would have got worse.
Whatever was happening, and I still haven't seen a concrete what it was.
Well, it was just a nerve issue, I guess. He got that cortisone shot, and then he said next day it felt better after that, and then a few days after that he was throwing on the side and things. So maybe it's just a nerve injury that cortisone solved it.
I love me some cortisone shots.
But that just masks it, doesn't it? That doesn't heal it. That masks it.
Well, massive for a while.
But from what I've read on that nerve injuries, you just stop doing whatever hurts it, and it goes away on its own. You go to the doctor, doctor, it hurts right here. And he's like, stop moving that.
Yeah.
Doctor, it hurts when I do this. Doctor goes, stop doing that.
It hurts when I pitch. What's your position? I'm a pitcher.
Yeah. Stop doing that for a little bit and see if it gets better out there. But obviously, the big stuff is no Cooper today. We'll talk a lot of the local stuff coming up. We didn't get to the Suns yesterday because of the legal tampering, so I wanted to start with that here today, Dale. I know football fans, we're going to get in depth on this here coming up, but Suns over the weekend went 1-2, I guess we could say, or at least in that 3-game series there, right? Thursday, Friday, or was it Friday, Saturday? I forget now. No, Thursday, Friday, back to back, and then Sunday. They went 1-3 in that stuff. Goodwin, questionable. He's going to be back faster.
They went 2-3.
Oh, 2-3. Is that what it was? 2-1.
2-1. I'm sorry.
2-1. I'm sorry. What did I say? 1-2.
You said 1-2 and 1-3.
I was going through my computer here trying to get to it. I know I'm all confused.
They beat the Pelicans and Hornets, and they lost to the Bulls.
Thank you. Yes, the inexcusable loss to the Bulls there as well. Goodwin's supposed to come back. He's questionable. He could be back here for this game against the Bucks tonight in Milwaukee. 6-game road streak for the Suns. What I want to ask you here, Dale, as we get started in this, they have Suns, Pacers, Raptors, the next three of these first 6 here on the road. What are you expecting?
You mean the Bucks?
What did I say?
You said Suns.
What is wrong with me today?
You said they got the Suns.
You all complimented me earlier, and now I'm all messed up. Yeah, Bucks tonight, Raptors. Oh, no, Pacers, then the Raptors. Celtics, Timberwolves, Spurs, all on the road. And then they get the Bucks back at home again.
Yeah, and I imagine that Giannis is playing tonight.
Yeah, and the Bucks are playing well after the going into the All-Star break. And I think they stubbed their toes a little bit here coming out of the break. I'm looking up the Eastern standings.
Yeah, they're
right now.
sitting in 11th spot. They're sitting in 11th spot.
But they were making a run beforehand, but they're not the easy out they were 3 months ago.
Right.
And stuff like that. But 6-game road trip, Dale, I want to know your prediction here on your Phoenix Suns in these next 6 games.
Well, you said the first week. I have not looked all the way through the road trip.
Yeah, I got it right here. Let me see here. I have so many tabs open on my computer. It's ridiculous, folks. So obviously Bucks tonight, Pacers on Thursday, then the back-to-back Raptors on Friday. Of course, obviously going from Indianapolis to Toronto there for a back-to-back. That's got to be terrible going through I know they don't go through customs like we do, but still, that's got to be terrible, right? A little bit longer. Then they got at Boston on Monday. So Friday, Monday, that's a nice break. Celtics, who are really good right now.
Yep.
Then you got Timberwolves, Spurs, the 6 games there. So the back half of this stretch is going to be a rough one.
Yeah, you're telling me Boston,
Timberwolves, and Spurs.
Yeah. I think if you come home 3-3.
Here's the problem. Boston on Monday, Timberwolves on Tuesday, Spurs on Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's a back-to-back Boston,
right.
Minnesota on top of it.
And I tell you what, I over the weekend, I watched the Spurs, probably a half of their basketball game.
I've watched a lot of Spurs this year myself.
Ooh. Other than those puke gray uniforms that they wear that I just can't stand.
I can't stand those black.
I don't like anything about San Antonio.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But
the Riverwalk of P.
But they are a really good basketball team.
They have a legit chance to win the championship this year. They're going to be a tough matchup for I think for Oklahoma City.
If Wemby stays healthy, boy oh boy, he is some sort of special.
And if SGA keeps dressing the way he's dressing, they're just going to keep losing. They're just going to start losing.
Well, I don't know. They've won 5 in a row, and they're 9-1 over the last 10.
You see him last night with the all gold. It was just like, what are you doing, man? Yeah, I agree with you. 3-3 would probably be good, but here's the problem: you better beat the Bucks, Pacers, and Raptors if you want to go 3-3,
right?
Because that back-to-back Celtics Timberwolves, it's going to be tough. That's tough back-to-back. Both games are going to be tough. And then, I think the Spurs are going to be terrible. The length of the Spurs is going to be a problem for the Suns. I hate to say this, Dale, but I think they're going to go 2-4 on this road trip.
That, just looking at it without digging super deep, kind of seems, just looking at records. And
It's not the worst thing on the planet. Well, here's the other side. They're getting Goodwin back. You're going to have to incorporate him back into this lineup a little bit. So you'll have a little bit. And if you do that tonight, you could have a blip tonight with that happening, right? And stuff to that effect. So I don't know. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I agree with you. At best, it's going to be a 3-3 road trip because of the back-to-backs. That's the toughest part of this. Forget about who you're playing. You got 2 back-to-backs on this road trip. That's terrible. And one of them, you go from Indianapolis to Toronto. Then you go to Boston, but that's a multiple day in between.
Yeah.
But that's terrible back-to-back. I know they go through customs different than we do as we go up to Canada. But just adds extra time and everything is all I'm saying.
Well, right now they're a game and a half behind the Denver Nuggets.
Yes, Nuggets have,
who not playing quite as well.
Lost 2 in a row.
Lakers pulling away a little bit. They're moved up to number 5.
Well, they've only won 2 in a row. They've done the opposite of the Nuggets, so they've just crossed each other there. But I mean, I'm looking more of it as behind the Suns because they're going to be. I said they're going to be the 7th seed. Can they catch the 6th seed? Possibly. Now they get Goodwin back, get healthy, get Brooks back when he's healthy again. They can make that. They can still make that 6th run here coming up, but. You want to watch behind them because the Warriors have fallen now. I mean, they're same record, but the Clippers are in that 8th seed now. Now, granted, what is that, 5 games back roughly? 4 games back there?
5 games back, but the Clippers and Golden State are tied.
Yeah, but the Clippers can go on a run here. Yeah. So that's more of what I'm looking at here. But this is a tough road trip when you look at it. And I was looking at it last night going, ooh, 6-game road trip. All right, so they'll probably drop a couple on the back end of this. And then you see the teams they're playing. You're like, oh. Okay.
Yeah. Last game of the 6-game road trip, San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio on top of, like I said, those back-to-backs are just going to be killers with who's playing when. And Mark Williams, of course, still out. You're not going to rush him back for this series. Wemby is going to be interesting. How does Oso, how does Malwatch contend with Wemby in that
Probably
game?
A lot like everybody else does, not very well.
So anyway, I wanted to just hit up the Suns here early up here today since we didn't get to them yesterday after their weekends, and I totally screwed up the whole beginning of the show there with my talking, but you guys get the gist of what I was trying to say.
Wembanyama is averaging 24 points, 11.1 rebounds per game.
That's it?
Played in 50 of 64 possible games.
Robert says, looks like there's a shadow over Helly. You look darker than normal? You might. Yeah, you do, actually. You do look darker than. You get a tan last night?
I don't know.
Oh, the lights are on. Might be the camera settings. No, really, Kobe was sitting there. He thinks he ate something bad this morning. We're doing McCollum on business, and he walked in here, and he was like, I don't feel good at all. I was like, get out of here. Go. Ethan will run the show. So we're setup was a little chaotic here leading into the show there, Dale. But yeah, you're right. You do look a little pale today.
Pale or dark?
Grayish. Probably a camera setting that Kobe deals with there. So, anything to make you look bad. That's what I pay the guys to do.
So we can look more and more alike. So tell me more about this nap yesterday.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, now that you do Macomb on business, you get home, what, noonish, 1 o'clock-ish?
No, yesterday we were home by, I think we were home by 11 yesterday.
Okay.
Well, we had to make a stop on the way home. Yeah, we probably got home 12:30 or so. But we left here like 11. Yeah. We had to make a couple stops on the way home. So we're a little bit later. Yeah, Monday's our day. We don't have a lot to do. So Ethan's editing some videos and stuff for us for the pit stop for tomorrow. So he was working on that, but we got out of here. Yeah. Well, the nap was because I had a long weekend, Dale.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I was catching up on the weekend stuff.
Yeah. Getting in the way of disabled people.
I was.
Jeez.
Rental machine.
And then get mad at them?
I didn't get mad at him. The guy was a jerk. Look.
You standing in his spot.
He legit, first of all, we were about to walk away. We're getting pictures of the whole race thing, very top level there and everything. He wasn't there. And we were literally putting our stuff up to walk off and everything. And he didn't need to drive into that spot in that second. And that's fine. Just ask. Go, hey, guys. I sit right there, guys. I would be like, all right, sorry, man. Here you go. Helped you out. Get out of my spot.
Why do you bring that out in people?
Have
you ever studied that?
Maybe the guy's just a miserable son of a gun in his rental machine. Rental writing machine. It did. It said rented from right there. And I was all like, you not need that?
Do you really need that?
You really need that, buddy. And then you're a jerk on top of it? Those are questions you got to ask, Dale. Those are questions you got to ask in that scenario. But it was funny that I go, no reason to be a jerk about it. He goes, sorry. I was like, whatever, man. Hope you do need that machine.
So the question is by 11:30 this morning.
Yep.
Is the Bobby Hurley tenure over?
Yeah, game starts at 9:30. Okay, this was an interesting story yesterday. As I'm falling asleep on my couch, whole house passed out. By the way, it was pretty funny. Everybody was asleep. But as I'm falling asleep, all these people are saying Bobby Hurley's not expected to be retained. On 3 Yahoo Sports, Bobby Hurley's not expected to be retained. The people that say he's fired, they're just being dramatic because they're just not going to renew his contract. Not being fired. It's just you're not, which I know is the same thing, but there's a difference between your contract not being renewed and you being relieved of your duties in the middle of a contract, right? There's a difference in my eyes, at least. So the people that are like, I saw one with this guy, little big old letters, fired on it. And I was like, he's not being fired. He's just not being renewed contract.
Right.
There's a difference. Now, if they had 2 years left, then he's being fired, right? Type of a thing. His contract doesn't expire till June, so technically, I guess whatever. But all those people doing it. And then Chris Cartman, who is the best guy out there. Then Michelle Gardner, she put out posts from ASU saying, it might be a little premature. Graham Rossini and Bobby Hurley are going to meet after the season ends for the Sun Devils. It's too premature to be saying that he's out there. And what they're basically saying is, on 3, Yahoo Sports, these are guys with sources and people in them. Probably Bobby Hurley, to be honest with you. But they have people in the organization. But they already know the fate of it. But ASU hasn't officially announced it. So, of course, ASU is going to say, well, we're going to meet after the season. And he hasn't, nothing's happened to him. We're going to meet after the season and have a discussion. That's the way ASU has to play that. But, folks, Bobby Hurley's been fired. He's known it for a while now, that this is his last season here. He's moving on with his career. He's going to have to go coach someplace else, and ASU's moving on from him. So it's just semantics at this point. But I do find it funny, all the outlets saying, with sources, Bobby Hurley's not coming back. And then ASU has to send out through the people close to them, well, we haven't met with him yet. That's premature to say he's been let go. And it's just stupid semantics. I get why, because ASU can't say oh yeah, he's not coming back because they haven't announced it. It has to be in a formal announcement. But also, it could look bad for them for future coaches if they don't do it right. But it's all semantics. The second the game ends today, I wasn't kidding yesterday when I said that social media guy should be hitting entered on. We thank Bobby Hurley for his 10 years of service here at Arizona State University and wish him luck in the future.
I guess the one thing that nobody's really taking into account, what if they go on a magical run and win the Big 12?
Good. And then he still needs to go.
And then makes the tournament.
You know why nobody's talking about that? Because it ain't happening.
Well, no.
If he beats Baylor today, which he can do, that team can beat Baylor today. If he beats Baylor today, it doesn't change anything. It just allows him to not be told he's not coming back officially. That press release going out for another couple days, another day at least, because they'll play tomorrow. That's all that means in my eyes. He's gone, folks. It's just ASU can't come out and go, we're moving on from Bobby Hurley in the middle of the Big 12 tournament. That's not a good look. You have to wait till it's officially done. 9:30 a.m. today, though. Like you said, 11:30-ish. I doubt it's not going to happen right away. I think it's also a bad look if you announce it while they're still in Kansas City. Doesn't it? At least get him back home.
Well, he's halfway to the East Coast. He could just get on another flight, go back where he's from.
Yeah, but there's enough big name companies out there putting their reputation on the line, saying he's not coming back. Cracks me up. So it is probably premature to put out there because there's no official statement. But
right.
But yeah, no, I'd like to see them beat Baylor today, and maybe because then they got Iowa State after that. I'd like to see them beat Baylor today and keep the season alive. That'd be a good way to go out. I'm not a Bobby Hurley hater. I can't stand his antics. I can't stand that side of him. But I'm not a hater. I think if he steps back and goes to a mid-major, a top-tier mid-major, maybe a Mountain West type team, something like that, I think Bobby Hurley can have success at that level. I do. I just don't think he can have success at this level in a Pac-12, Big 12 environment with the way the conferences are. I really do. I really think he can step back and have some success at that level with those types of kids and those conferences. Like a GCU type school. San Diego State, Wyoming, something like that. I think he can do well there. But yeah, so I don't know. I haven't put much thought into it because I don't think it matters if Arizona State wins today.
Right.
I'll say this, if they don't beat Baylor today, it's just going to go down as one of those games of, you should have beaten them. But we have so many of those in Bobby Hurley's tenure. I'd like to see him go out with a little excitement of beating Baylor and then maybe competing against Iowa State before ultimately lose. That'd be a fun way to go out.
Right now, ASU's 16-15 overall. Yeah. Win would give them 17-15. I'm sure them of a winning record.
Absolutely. They have a winning record, obviously, in the regular season. But, yeah, I'd like to see that, too. That'd be good for a final game here for Bobby Hurley. Interesting enough, we talked about it yesterday, Dale. Speaking of Bobby Hurley, they did an amazing thing the other day. Actually, Ethan tagged us here as well. ASU has a lot of players out today. No shocker there. Let's see here. Pulling up the deal here. Alan Makumba is a game time decision, but other than that, everybody's out. That you expect to be out in this game. So no major injuries on either of these teams. Go out there. Mo Odom, go out there and do your thing, baby. It could be his last college game. He's a senior and moves on after this, so whatever he's going to do in life. So go out there. Have a great game, Mo Odom. Go do it, baby.
You get to see that court again?
Oh.
Your favorite
maybe
court in basketball?
Maybe I won't be watching it. Maybe I won't be watching it. I forgot about that. You just reminded me. 9:30 start time. For the boys, too. Are they going to come in woken up or are they going to come in a little sleepwalking?
Well, that's 11:30.
I get it.
Kansas City time.
But they're not on Kansas City time. They haven't been there long enough to be 11:30 time frame.
I don't know. Again, I just always go back to they played AAU basketball games at 8 and 9 o'clock.
And then they play the night before, like 11 p.m., on top of it. So it's amazing. But the other day, we talked about it yesterday. I did get the video today for it. But the Hurley brothers were battling it out on Saturday night, not against each other, separately across the country here. And I kind of did it yesterday. We're going to try to break this down. Ethan, go ahead and play it here. The Hurley brothers, side by side. Let's just call it the meltdown.
Oh,
here
that's
as
right.
Well. Bobby Hurley on the left for ASU. Dan Hurley on the right for UConn. UConn's 1 second left in this game. He loses a challenge. He loses a major upset in that game. And he loses his mind. Bobby, look at Bobby Hurley on the left going, what? What? What did I say? What did I say? Because Bobby Hurley got teed up. This is, by the way, happening at the same time. Of course, Dan Hurley ejected. Marquette, who's there, I want to say St. Mary's all day yesterday. They had a major upset to Marquette. But look at Bobby Hurley. Look at Dan Hurley yelling at everybody there. Ethan, I want you to play that again for me. Because pay attention specifically to Bobby Hurley. That's who we pay attention to. He got teed up. Look at him. He's like, what are you? Look at Coach Irv. Look at this. Look, this is what concerns me. Now, Dan Hurley's got a coach holding him back, but he tells the guy no, but Dan Hurley stops. Look at him. He's got, that's, by the way, 23 is the guy that's game time decision today. Who's he? Then he's yelling at the ref. They tee him up and he's still yelling at the ref, all red-faced right there.
Trying to get his money's worth, Steve.
Maybe, but he's just teed up. Maybe, I don't know, tone it down a little bit and get your point across, because I guarantee you that ref's not listening to you.
No.
That's a proud parent moment. I mean, both of their parents have to be sitting there at home going, oh, there goes our boys again.
Can you imagine Mom going, you two knuckleheads?
That phone call afterwards. I really don't like the way you guys act and treat people.
And by the way, just so we're absolutely clear, I'm sorry.
You're having Steve problems. So.
Yeah, to Tommy Hurley. Who's Tommy Hurley?
There's something in the air in here?
Is that a brother that we don't know about?
There's something in the air in here?
Bobby Hurley, this is his 11th season.
I know. I said 10th earlier.
Well, I think we said 10 the last couple of days, but it's his 11th season.
I like to pretend it was only 10. Yeah, you're right on that. So today, 9:30, we'll be having it on here. Watch the beginning of it here, and we'll see if it goes. Bobby Hurley's last game. But I do expect a quick announcement. By quick, I mean like in the next day or so, official announcement. Everybody already knows. If I was Graham Rossini, I would wait for the official announcement until they land back here, me personally. But I don't know. In today's day and age, maybe you can't do that. Maybe you need to do it sooner. Because if you're Graham Rossini, maybe the guys you want to talk to coming up are someplace between here and Kansas City, if you know what I mean. On your way back over. Maybe you have to stop in Vegas or something, so you have to make that announcement.
Well, maybe you can steal that Baylor coach, the Drew. Well, you get one of the Drews.
You get one of the Drews?
Yeah.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, because Baylor's been on a downhill trend as well. I didn't even think about that angle. Wouldn't that be right? We get the wrong Drew brother. Who are you rooting for today? You don't have your Baylor Bears colors on.
Yeah, I
got a lot of checks.
I almost am rooting for a little. I love chaos.
Yeah,
I'd love ASU to pull off the upset. And
is it an upset? ASU's 12th seed, Baylor's 13th seed. It's not an upset, is it?
Is it?
It's an upset in our eyes because we think Arizona State's terrible. I get that, but Baylor is the 13th seed.
12 and 13 seeds in a conference tournament.
I know. Well, it's even worse. Utah's the 16th seed. They got Cincinnati today at 2 p.m. noon our time.
They don't want to be
How
there.
is that not the first game of the day that nobody wants to watch? Yeah, it'll be ugly. And then Arizona has Texas Tech, Arizona, Houston, and Kansas all have the 2-round byes, so they don't play till Wednesday or Thursday. Coming up. Yeah, today's Tuesday, so Thursday. So they have the first 2-round byes there. Iowa State, of course, UCF, West Virginia, and TCU have the 1-day bye, so they don't play till tomorrow. The winners here as well. So The team I'd watch out for, I don't know, man. BYU, Kansas State today, 10th ranked and 15th ranked Kansas. 10th ranked BYU, 15th ranked Kansas State. Now this is Big 12 rankings. There, I could see Kansas State winning this game and knocking BYU out after the big season they've had with all that money they spent in the program. If not, I do think BYU will lose to West Virginia tomorrow. So watch for BYU getting an early out here. That'll be fascinating to watch.
And I've got BYU winning 2 games in this tournament.
And then losing to Houston?
Yeah.
Look at this, though. Just if the best 4 teams get through, forget about Iowa State here for a second. Texas Tech, Arizona, Houston, and Kansas. That could be a legit NCAA tournament Final Four, and nobody would complain about that.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Kansas you would a little bit because they've blipped a little bit from that side. But that's the juggernaut you're going through here. Then you add Iowa State, who, if they beat Arizona State Baylor winner, they play Texas Tech on Thursday. So you have Texas Tech and Iowa State playing each other in a quarterfinals. That could be that's a phenomenal matchup from that perspective. This is going to be just an outstanding tournament. I'm looking so much forward to this coming up as well. Starting today, 9:30.
When's the championship game? Saturday?
It is.
Or is it Sunday?
It's Saturday. Let me pull it up here. Saturday, yeah. 5 p.m. Eastern, or 5 p.m. Kansas City time.
So the rankings as of this morning, Arizona's 2nd, Houston's 5th, Iowa State.
You're talking about the AP rankings.
Yeah. Iowa State is 7th, and then Kansas comes in at 14.
Yeah.
Texas Tech is at 16.
BYU fell out? Did they fall out?
BYU is receiving votes.
They fell out, yeah. BYU has that freshman that's a one-and-doner.
Yeah.
Record money for a freshman guy in basketball. They're paying him. They're paying a lot of people. Now, they got hit by the injury bug. I get it. That's a lot of money to spend on a team that fell like a rock from that top level of stuff there. But isn't that interesting, though? Like, this is why anybody playing today probably isn't making it to the final game, because you have to play today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And if you made the championship game, so that's 5 days in a row. You're just going to be tired at that point.
I was watching the highlights on ESPN last night after watching some other stuff, and there was a team, one of those smaller conferences, who played 6 straight days.
Was that High Point? It was one of those types.
It was a smaller conference.
Yeah, they surprised. Yeah, they surprised and won, right?
Yeah.
There's a kid at High Point, by the way. I think it's High Point. They won their conference championship. The dude is 0 for whatever and 2-point shots all season long. But he's made like 100 threes. My stats aren't exact. All he can do is make threes.
Really?
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. I have to look this up here. It is the most amazing. I knew it like halfway through the season that he was just shooting at 3-point levels beyond belief there. Got it right here. So they won the Big South, High Point did. So the kid, Chase Johnston is his name. He hasn't made a 2-point field goal attempt all season. He was 0 for 4 in 2-point attempts, Dale. He's 64 and 132 from the 3-point line.
Wow. Wow.
I kid you not. Is that coaching? Or the coach is like, shoot a 2, dang it? Or is that just, hey, man,
I think by the time you're
you're
towards the end of the season and it's still going on, that's got to be okay by the coaches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is coaching saying. It even gets to the point where I dare to say the coaches are like, don't you dare shoot a 2. Where is High Point University at, Dale? Big South.
High Point University, I think that's in.
Big South. I'm giving you a hint. Big South.
Yeah, I think that's in small town in Kentucky.
Nope. High Point, North Carolina.
Close.
See, but by saying Big South, I would have said South Carolina before I said North Carolina. That's kind of North Carolina, really? Isn't that kind of a mix? Isn't that kind of like did the line go through North Carolina? Didn't it?
Mason-Dixon line?
Yeah, whatever line you want to call it. Yeah, they won the Big South. But what an amazing stat by that kid. So if you face them in the first round of the NCAA tournament, you just go, all right, stay on that guy outside the 3-point line. And make him shoot twos.
Make him drive.
Like normally you go left, right. And with him, you're like, just keep him outside there. Keep your hand in his face. So Big 12, 9:30 today, coming your way as well. And we'll keep an eye on it here at the start as we keep going through it. No Bruce Cooper today. If he had something come up late last night, so he'll be in on a Friday. And he's always funny. It makes me feel bad that he has to cancel. The way he phrases it.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, Bruce, it's okay. We'll see you on Friday. It's all good. But it's almost like he's disappointing. Like I feel like he's disappointing you, Dale. Not me. He doesn't care.
Well, it would be interesting. More things will be ironed out by Friday as far as football, and we know that he's got strong opinions.
Yeah, so I was going through his draft stuff that he has. He's vocalized it here and all of that stuff. I think Jeremiah Love's kind of off the table with what the moves the Cardinals are making right now. I think they've telegraphed where they're going in this draft. We'll talk about that when we get to NFL coming up. World Baseball Classic, of course, yesterday. I've got just a feel-good story for you coming up here, Dale. Even you will shed a tear.
Really?
Heartless old man, you. Just amazing. Coming up here as well. So let's take our break. Come on back. We'll get into that. See if we can make Dale cry right here on the program.
I cry easy.
Come on back, folks. The main event. We're just talking about Gary Woodland there during that break. At least he's coming clean about it. I think hiding that now in the public eye, obviously, he came out diagnosed with PTSD, I should say, about a year ago and everything. And the seizures, I guess, is what he had, right? On a lesion.
Well, he had a lesion on his brain, had surgery in September 2023.
Yeah.
Took him about a year to come back. The seizures have kind of stopped and all that, but he said when too many people are around him and he's trying to hide it.
Well, I can understand that because he's in the public eye.
Yeah.
But keeping it a secret from everybody can weigh on you and stuff like that. So he's come out on that. Good for him.
Yeah.
I think you should be there. I think a lot of people don't come out about it because there's a stigma, obviously, where you think you're going to be judged. And look, if people are judging you incorrectly on that because of those reasons. Well, that's not on you, man.
I mean, it's one thing if Steve's going to judge you on a rented scooter, but if you had brain surgery and people are demeaning you, shame on them.
Why do you have to equate it like that? Gary Woodland's not a jerk to people, though. He's probably nice.
Hey, that's his property at Phoenix Raceway.
Just saying.
You could have gotten one of those.
I could have rented one too.
Or they would stop moving.
Oh my God, that'd be embarrassing. But good for him to come out and start talking about it because, like I said, some people are going to be jerks about it, but that's not on him. But more importantly, especially, and this is, I know it's hard for me to say this. It's easy for me to say this, but I think if you're in the public eye like this, like who are the basketball players? I don't remember now. Love came out like this, where he talked about his issues of being in front of the crowd and stuff like that. I think as somebody in those environments, it's more potent that they talk about it. Because then it's like, oh, they go through that, and then somebody at home's going, well, that's what I'm going through, and it kind of just opens it up and takes the stigma off of it. So, two reasons: one, it's tough to live your life hiding that from everybody. For one, so I was glad he's out there. But then two, I'll guarantee you, there's a golf fan out there that's reading this story or hearing this story. And they're going, all right, well, if he's going through this, then maybe I can get the help, and I shouldn't be ashamed of it. And they don't have to live like that too, just in everyday life. So I'm glad to hear. I'm not glad to hear he has it. I'm glad to hear that he's speaking out about it for hopefully those reasons as well. But then the last thing on the gambling or on the sports side of things and gambling, if a referee works next week's men's and women's basketball tournaments, well, the NCAA is going to know if they go to a sportsbook account or try to place a bet out there. And by the way, not just for basketball, baseball and softball championships are going to be monitored also. There's a thing out there called Prohibibet. It's a technology out there that cross-checks anonymized identification data with sportsbooks to flag impermissible bettors. Man, they use a lot of big words there as well. So this company works with sports leagues and sportsbooks to track the betting market. Mm-hmm. And you brought this up during the break. You're good, because NBA should be using this. NFL should be using this. But like you said during the break, and I agree with you on this, why are you publicizing? Because what I took away from this is they think their referees are betting on the market.
Or something has come to their attention that say, hey, you might want to keep an eye on this or that, or...
That's what this tells me. They know something or they suspect something, and so they're trying to squash it ahead of time. That's what the announcement is. You should be doing this without announcing it. Like the NBA should be doing this with zero announcement.
For their officials.
Yeah. I would even argue if you want to do it with the players as well. Right. The players aren't allowed to bet. But that's out there, folks. They're going that route. Here's the other side of it. This is where I get in that catch-22. Because every time a ref makes a bad play today, go to Twitter, go to Facebook, be in the building, first thing you hear somebody say, check your sports betting applications. Everybody goes straight to that. How do you get that stigma out of it? Well, you have to say you're using this stuff to protect it and things to that effect. Because it is a big deal out there. But they're at least trying to squash it here. Just interesting that they would have announced this in September. I don't think it would have raised a red flag that to me it's raising right now, where I'm reading probably too much into it. But they're announcing it now, one, because the tournaments are coming up, but then two, that tells me there's some question marks out there, and they're like, because if there was no hints of it, do you think they'd invest in this technology and stuff like that?
Well,
you didn't know?
No, I would not think if there wasn't some reason that all of a sudden this year, because betting's been around now for a few years.
A lot of years.
But I wouldn't be opposed to that being mandatory in every sport officials.
It absolutely should be, especially because and here's the bad part. We learned this with that NBA betting scandal. Like, how Scott Foster still has a job in the NBA confounds me. Forget about his bad calls and stuff like that. There's a record of him calling the guy busted for gambling and went to jail for gambling, Donahue or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
There's records of Scott Foster calling him before and after games where they showed him gambling in those games. That alone should be disqualifying. Even if he didn't do anything, that's too coincidental, folks.
Right.
And stuff to that effect. So this will kind of squash it down a little bit from that side, hopefully. We'll see. That's the first thing everybody goes to. Robert says, at this point, I'm with Coop for Love at 3, meaning Jeremiah Love. Cards can run the option. Don't think it would make that big a difference. Well, I'm going to tell you later on in the program, Robert. Cardinals are drafting an offensive lineman at number 3. Maybe they'll trade down, but they're drafting an offensive lineman first. And I'm going to tell you why, with their signings yesterday, why they're going to do that. And it's not going to be Love at 3.
Unless here the next couple of days there's another offensive lineman signed.
Well,
I don't know who that would be.
The actual issue is because they focused on the offensive line yesterday, I'll just give you the preview of it. They want to run stretch offenses like the Rams play. The Rams do not run the ball straight up tackles off the center very often. They run outside. With their signings yesterday, we'll go over that coming up here as well. Love can do that, but I think they're focusing on the offensive line here to set up the wide gaps running. Last year, they were terrible at getting outside, running the ball.
Well, yeah.
I think that's what they want to do this year. I think that's the style they're going to. With the running back signing, and then, of course, the big sign. That was a big get there. We'll talk about that coming up. But before we get to that, Dale, World Baseball Classic yesterday kept going yesterday as well. Japan 4-0 after their win yesterday as well. Japan and Korea move on. Australia, Chinese Taipei, and Chechnya all knocked out. We'll talk about Chechnya here in just a moment. U.S., of course, beat Mexico to make Mexico 2-1. Italy's 2-0. And then USA, of course, 3-0. U.S. is going to move on to the next round. It's just a matter of are they going to be 4-0 or are they going to be 3-1 to move on at this point coming up here. Because they play Italy now. Well, I should say. I think they're going to move on in the next round. It's not guaranteed, but they're going to get there. Puerto Rico's 3-0 now. They're moving on as well. Cuba's 2-1. They haven't officially clinched yet because Canada's 1-1 in that pool. So they're still battling out. Cuba gets one more win. Obviously, they'll move on as well. Then Venezuela's moved on and Dominican Republic's moved on. They're both 3-0 over there in Pool D. Israel, Netherlands, and Nicaragua are all out on that side there. U.S. good win last night. 5-3 Skeens. It's just, dear God, I don't know how anybody has a chance to hit a ball that he throws. I know Mexico got a couple of hits off of him, but that pitch to Alek Thomas for that strikeout, I mean, that thing was over the plate, Dale. And then when it crossed the plate, it was 6 feet outside. Just a gorgeous throw by Paul Skeens. He's being wasted in Pirates land
in Pittsburgh.
But the U.S. team is fun. Aaron Judge can't play well in the playoffs, but World Baseball Classic, Aaron Judge can belt home runs there in Houston like nobody's business and everything. From that side. So U.S. just doing what they are expected to do here coming up in this well. But Dale, yesterday, Chechnya was on the mound yesterday. They're playing Japan. Obviously, if I just told you the status here in Japan, 4-0. So Japan wins this game here yesterday. But this is exciting for 2 reasons. This is why you watch sports, in my opinion. Yesterday, a gentleman's on the mound for Chechnya. And his name is Satoria. I'm going to butcher his first name, so I'm just going to say Santoria. Dale, I'm going to show you the pitch he throws and then them taking him out of this game in Japan. First of all, so before I tell you anything about this cat pitching yesterday, I'm just going to show you the emotion of the fans, his emotion as he's walking on the mound. Keep in mind, this is against Japan. He threw 4 2/3 shutout innings against a high power. This would be like going out and throwing high stuff against the Dodgers. Wait till you hear about this guy afterwards. Here it is. End of the game when he gets pulled out, his final pitch, he gets pulled out. Check this out. This is pitcher Satoria from Chechnya.
Satoria deals. It's hit high in the air, left field side. Escala in foul ground. Escala jumps and makes the catch for the second out of the 5th inning.
Escala points to his chest. And I know he's not saying anything about hockey, but it just feels like his heartbeat went straight up shot. How about this moment? How about this moment for this country and for that gentleman?
And the ovation for Andre Sartoria. The bow.
The coach just bowed to him.
From his manager, Pavel Hadin. Build the statue in Ostrava for Andre Sartoria, a Czech baseball legend.
Look at this. This is walking off, Dale. 4 2/3 inning against the mighty Japan team. Keeps them scoring. Look at the emotion. That's amazing. So that's amazing. You want to know about this guy?
Well, they said he's a Czech legend or Czech legend.
He's a full-time electrician.
Really?
What he does. He doesn't play baseball full-time. Full-time electrician. Shows up, gets to the World Baseball Classic as a pitcher, goes 4 2/3 inning, shutout innings against the Japan, Ohtani, those boys. Look at that. He walks off. That's why he's a legend there. Full-time electrician. That's why you watch.
Do you think Ohtani's calling the Dodgers and say, you might want to sign this guy? I can't hit him.
Right? Just the pause there. The coach bowed down to him as he walks out there and things to that effect. He's a really good pitcher for their standards, but that's just an amazing thing. That's something you don't see in sports very often. So when you see it, it just kind of catches your eyes. And I was watching, I had it on yesterday with my nap, ironically enough, and I didn't catch what the moment was. And then afterwards I saw he's a full-time electrician, doesn't play baseball full-time and everything. And I was just like, wow. That's why we watch sports right there, in my opinion.
Right.
I wanted to definitely give him his props there back there in Chechnya.
You love those stories.
I think that's why we watch sports. It's easy to watch the U.S. team and the Japan team and go, yeah, here they go. They're really good again. And then take it for advantage. What these guys do to pitch out there, right? I'm sure Israel has similar stories of guys playing on their team. Great Britain probably does as well, type of thing. He's not going to be around here in another 2 years to play in the World Baseball Classic again, maybe. But my favorite part of it, Dale, it's like when you see him on the mound, you're like, this guy just looks different. Well, that's why he's an electrician by trade. I think it's fantastic. But those stories, that's kind of like the Olympics.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. I find myself when NBC does a little snippet on somebody about their background or that speed skater from Wisconsin and you kind of get to know a little bit about him, you end up cheering for him more.
Well, it's because you think, you just assume a guy's pitching in the World Baseball Classic, he plays baseball every day. That's what he does, Dale, right? He plays for some Chechnya league, or maybe he's lucky enough that he plays in an Italian league or something to that effect. Nope, not at all. Not at all, folks. Yeah, today he's probably at home splicing some wires together to earn some money for his family again. It's fantastic there as well. So 4 2/3 of an innings pitch, 0 earned runs, as I just said. He has a 2.14 ERA in World Baseball Classic play as well. He's got a 72-mile-per-hour changeup, and that 72-mile-per-hour changeup generated 33% misses there. So basically whiffs against Japan yesterday. Folks, that is efficiency that most pitchers dream of. And this guy, a full-time electrician, got it there on the mound yesterday as well. So there you go. I know. I saw a lot of comments online, Dale, about people going, Dodgers just signed him to a 3-year, $300 million deal deferred and stuff like that. I saw a lot of comments on that. So anyway, fantastic. That's why you watch this stuff. Now we're about to go away from the qualifying round, so you're going to lose a lot of those stories because obviously the good teams are moving on and stuff to that effect as well. So, but 72-mile-per-hour pitch. I told you guys before, I know somebody that tried out for baseball when they were out of college and stuff like that. And he threw like a high 80s fastball, a mid-80s changeup and stuff like that. And no team, everybody's feedback to him was, you just don't have enough velocity. We're not interested in you. And he could paint the corners, Dale.
Right.
And they were like, you don't throw the ball hard enough for us, even though you can strike people out like crazy because where you place it. And this guy's throwing a 72-mile-per-hour changeup up there and fooling the Dodgers, pretty much. the Japanese team yesterday as well. So.
Well, it's the same thing. It's like I've talked about it with guys who know a lot more about baseball than I do, and a Greg Maddux has not come along anymore.
You're not going to see another guy.
A Hall of Fame 300-game winner who topped out at 90 could really pump it up to 92 if he needed to.
Painting the corners.
Yeah.
Those pitchers are gone. They want you to throw hard, even if you're not accurate. They just want you up there throwing 90, 100 miles per hour type of stuff to get it out there and everything. But when we come back, we'll keep it rolling. Of course, by the way, U.S. plays today against Italia. Later on today, late night game again. It's either 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. tonight for that as well. So before they move on, lots of football talk. Cardinals making some moves.
Minshew time.
Oh, it's a back. Go break down this.
Minshew time.
I can't tell if I'm disappointed or not in this. I can't figure it out. We'll talk about it. Come on back. Main event. Second hour main event. We were just speculating on Kyler Murray's landing spot here. Because, if it's not Minnesota, Dale.
Where else would it be?
You're running out of starting spots around the NFL. We'll get into the legal tampering here in just a minute. If you're just joining us now, because you normally join us for Bruce Cooper, just FYI, he had something come up late last night. So he wasn't able to make it in today. He's going to come and join us on Friday this week here. So tune in on Friday, you Bruce Cooper fans of the man, the myth, the legend. Bruce Cooper joining us on Friday coming up. But he'll have a lot to talk. We'll talk a lot of Cardinals, obviously. We'll talk a lot of Suns as well, like we always do with him coming up. But, of course, I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and 17-year NFL veterans over here to my right. You're left on your screen there because you don't know what my right is, do you? That way. Dale's over there somewhere.
Are you sure you know you're right?
Oh, yeah. Well, when I point, you're over there. So hold on. Yes, that way. So we're looking at. So I appreciate you joining us. Don't forget, text us 623-252-6670. Of course, hit us up on X as well, at TME Sports Show. We'll see your text. We read them and we talk about them. Some of you I know text in and don't want to publicize, don't want your name, want your info out there, which is fine. We'll still talk about it and bring it up, but just work with us there as well. It'd be fantastic to do. We'll talk more Diamondbacks here over the next few days and definitely on Friday with Coop. They're sending down a lot of their young guys right now, which, Walt Schmidt going down over the weekend and stuff. We'll talk more of that as the week goes on. But obviously, NFL rules the roost. We're all curious what the Cardinals are going towards and stuff to that effect around the league. The big news yesterday, there's several big news for the Cardinals yesterday, but the one that everybody was focused on Right as the show was ending, we had the breaking news of Malik Willis signing with the Miami Dolphins yesterday. 3 years, $67.5 million. We got the figures about 3 minutes after we went off air yesterday. Comes down to about $22 million a year, $45 million guaranteed to the Dolphins. The fact that the Dolphins cut Tua yesterday morning, should have been the sign that they had their next quarterback already lined up and ready to sign. And very obvious now looking back on it. They had Malik Willis ready to go. That contract was done. Get rid of Tua. Boom, move on. Tua, interesting enough, signs with the Falcons. That was the rumor after his release yesterday. What shocked me, Dale. Now, granted, you signed for the league minimum. He's still making his money because the Dolphins still have to pay him.
$99 million over the next 2 years.
But Tua signs for only $1.3 million. That's not the surprise. You expect that to happen. See the same type of thing with Kyler Murray as well coming up. It's the fact that Tua signed a 1-year deal that surprises me. Not even a 2-year option, Dale. Falcons 1-year deal is all they've signed with him.
Well,
that shocks me a lot.
Isn't it fascinating? You look at Atlanta, and you do have some playmakers on that football team. Obviously,
one less today. Running back signed with the Cardinals, but not Bijan, the other running back.
Yeah, if it was Bijan, then we could be talking about. But Algier,
I like Algier, though.
Yeah, but he's not Bijan.
I know he's not. But I'm just saying, one less person on that running back team there. But you're right. Tons of talent. Receivers, tons of talent.
Tight end is really good. But you have two quarterbacks that aren't they almost a spitting image of each other?
Isn't it weird to have two lefties on the roster?
Two lefties, two injury-prone guys.
Well, Penix is only his second year. And both knees blown out this year?
Well, and he's had previous injuries in college.
Yeah, and with knee injuries.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, of course, Tua.
And Tua's one hit away from his career being over.
Yeah. And then going to Atlanta where they play on an AstroTurf, not a natural field, which I know AstroTurf today is a lot softer than it used to be, but it's still not a natural turf. So you have that stuff. But, yeah, what are the Falcons doing? They signed, besides Harbaugh, one of the best and, at least most anticipated head coach out there. And now they make this move. But usually you'll see like Tua would be like a 1 year and then the player has an option for a second year or something. No, 1 year, $1.3 million. That kind of surprised me was the 1 year. Marcus Mariota goes back to the Commanders, which I do like this move. I do like Marcus Mariota as a backup to Jaden Daniels. Similar quarterbacks, one obviously more experienced than Mariota, but you don't have to change your offense at all between these two guys, right? If Mariota has to go in, he can go in and that offense runs the same. 1 year, $7 million deal for Mariota. The 1 year deal kind of surprised me as well. Because what does that say? Because Daniels is your starting quarterback moving forward. Dan Quinn should be there longer than this year. New offensive coordinator this year. Mariota fits in that system. Only a 1 year deal. You're going to have to go negotiate with him again. But then on top of it, it caught my eye because he signed for 1 year, $7 million to back up Jaden Daniels. Which that's a lot of money. And then I wake up from my nap. We're going to jump ahead and we'll jump around to the other quarterback side in a minute. But
so there were actually things that you're telling me the NFL wasn't sleeping while Steve was.
No, they were working.
Okay.
Dale. They were working. Gardner Minshew signs with the Cardinals for a 1 year, again, a 1 year deal. $5.75 million.
Okay. But the money's
Tyler Huntley signed with the Ravens, $5 million. 2 years, $5 million. Kenny Pickett signs with the Panthers, 1 year, $4 million. Kyle Allen, 2 years, $4.1 million. Sam Ehlinger, 1 year, $2 million. Case Keenum with the Bears, 2 years, $5.5 million. These are weird backup numbers for quarterbacks, aren't they? Take away Tua because, like I said, he's getting paid a lot of money to not play for the Dolphins.
Right.
But 2 years, $5 million for Tyler Huntley. Mitchell Trubisky for the Titans, 2 years, $10.5 million. So basically $5.5 million a year. the going rate for backup quarterbacks, experienced backup quarterbacks, is $4 to $5 million.
Seems like it's come down a little bit.
A lot down, isn't it?
I was thinking
those were
not 9, 10, 7,
those were
8, 9.
$7 to $10 million deals just a year or two ago.
Right.
So I'm not alone in thinking this. Then
Right.
this money is low on backup quarterback, and they're not signing him to multi-year deals on top of it. 2-year deals is the maximum on these types of things. And they're moving around. Mitchell Trubisky, backed up in Buffalo, new head coach there, etc. They switch him for Kyle Allen. I don't know if that's an improvement.
Well, I read somewhere where Kyle Allen and Josh Allen are good friends.
Are they?
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
Yeah, exactly. But you mean, Mitchell Trubisky was the guy out there. But it shocks me. Like even Case Keenum for the Bears, 2 years, $5.5 million. That's two and a quarter a year.
Chump change.
You waste more than that getting out of bed. I was shocked at the years. Remember back in the day with the backup quarterback? Oh, we want you here for the next 3 to 4 years, for a chance to start. Then you read that Jimmy G, the Cardinals were talking to him, and there's a snag in the negotiation is the reporting that's out there.
Right.
For him to come. That's why they had to pivot to Gardner Minshew on top of that. What kind of snag of a negotiation can you have with Jimmy G? You want to come in here and play or not?
Well, the thing that I saw was that he wanted to have a chance to start.
Yeah, and the Cardinals.
Well, where's that going to be?
What we learned yesterday was the Cardinals. Yeah, but he knows the Matthew Stafford situation probably better than anybody. Well, besides LaFleur would know it too, but he's just sitting there going, Matthew Stafford's one snap away from me being in this game. But that's what that tells me. That snag is, and that reporting tells me Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't being told he's going to come here and start. The starting quarterback position for the Cardinals has always been Brissett going into the season. That was the talk. That's what we just learned was the talk about hiring LaFleur. The talk was your quarterback, or I want my quarterback to be Brissett going into this year. That's what we just learned yesterday. That shocks me.
Right.
Do you not want to improve at all? I like Brissett as a quarterback. Does he win a lot? No. A lot of it's not his fault why he doesn't win, folks. But I like him for that. I like Gardner Minshew as a quarterback, but same problem. He doesn't win a ton of games, but he can do stuff out on the field. I don't have necessarily a problem with them signing it. But when you're sitting here and you fire Gannon and you say, I see all these other teams improving and making the playoffs.
Right.
I don't care, and I wasn't a Malik Willis guy where I wasn't like, don't spend that money on him. That's ridiculous. Tell me where you can look at your fan base and say, we're trying to win this year, Dale. When you have Brissett and you upgrade, and Slovis is still on the roster, by the way, and you upgrade with Gardner Minshew. Tell me where you're planning to win is. Tell me where the fan base should be excited this year, Dale, in their quarterback position.
Well, don't you think maybe this is year 4 of that 3-year rebuild?
You're starting over. This is my point, though. You're starting over with the rebuild. See, in a vacuum, that's how you would look at this and say, like, if the Cardinals won those last 3 years and they did this move, you go, okay, they had to step back for the quarterback position, but there's still a ton of talent everywhere else. What this tells me, Dale, with the other signings that we'll get into in just a minute, this tells me they're rebuilding, but they're going with veteran presence in the quarterback position that can run an offense, and they're going to rebuild the running game and the offensive line. That is their goal, period, going into this year. That's what they're looking at. And this offense, let me put it that way, this offense as a whole. Signing Kendrick Bourne from the 49ers. On paper, not the best signing that you've ever seen for a wide receiver. Solid depth. He stepped up with all the injuries and what's his name decided not to play this year for whatever reason for the Niners. He stepped up in that year. Getting him for 2 years, $11.47 million, I think is a steal for a depth receiver. Say what you want about Marv. On paper, you now have Marv, Wilson, Bourne as your wide receiver 3. And Bourne, I think, can step up and be a 2 if Wilson becomes the 1. Forget about Marv for a second. I think that's a good pickup. Then they go out there and they get the number 3 free agent guard in the free agent market, Isaac Seumalo. Dale?
Yeah.
Sneezing. Good luck saying that name.
Yeah.
3 years, $31.5 million. I told you yesterday I'm really weary of offensive linemen in the free agent market because you have to overpay for them. And there's a reason they're cut. Is they're usually not worth that money anymore.
Especially when you're talking about the first wave.
This is 3 years, $31.5 million.
Yeah.
This is a steal if he can come in and perform even close to the level he performed at last year with the Steelers. Lowest pressure rate allowed, he was the best one there. 3.7% pressure rate as a left guard last season.
I like that.
You're pairing a guy that still has it as of last year into this position. This is a huge upgrade, and you got him for $11 million a year. This is a fantastic pickup by the Cardinals, I think, in this deal.
Well, the thing is, you look at it, and if you're trying to protect a pocket quarterback, which Brissett is,
and so is Minshew. He can run, but he's a pocket.
You want those 3 interior linemen to be solid as a wall and don't allow pressure up the middle.
Yes.
And therein lie, you look at the Rams with Stafford. Stafford very rarely gets outside the pocket.
They pinpointed, the Cardinals pinpointed, our interior offensive line needs to be better, period, end of story. And they went and improved it in day 1 of the free agency market.
Right.
That's fantastic. That's great. Now, you kind of poo-pooed this here, right? But Tyler Algier, 2 years, $12.25 million. You're right. He's not Bijan Robinson, not even close to it. He doesn't fumble. He's never fumbled on that side.
Oh, don't say that.
I know. I know. That's what I think when people
don't
mention
say
it.
That.
But here's my point. I think he's what they thought Trey Benson would be coming out of college. He can run outside. He can hit. So if your interior offensive linemen are able to keep the guys at the line of scrimmage and not be pushed backwards, he can hit outside. He can hit outside the guards. He can get outside the tackles and expose that outside running game coming up here. If that pocket can stay clean and he can get out there. This is a solid pickup. Depending on what happens with James Conner, they redid him, right? But this is an upgrade of Trey Benson, I think, by bringing in Alga. I liked him a lot in Atlanta. Now, you don't have, like you said, you don't have a B.J. Robinson type to back him up. Would that be a Jeremiah Love situation? You can bring him in, right? Then you have Conner on that reduced contract, Algier, and then, Love coming in for those specialty runs. I think that's fantastic what they did with the offense yesterday. Separate from the quarterback, let's take that away for a second. I like what they did yesterday. They focused on 3 needs with 3 guys, Dale, that have proven they can play in this National Football League.
Yeah, I do like that. Again,
I'm not saying they're winning a Super Bowl, Dale.
No. That would be ridiculous. But it's obvious that they looked at, from their perspective, the holes on this team. Mm-hmm. And if they weren't going to be able to improve the quarterback position, which obviously they decided, or Malik Willis decided.
But I'm not sold that. I'm not one of those guys that's sold he would have come in here and solved the problem.
No, I don't either.
But again, a Kirk Cousins, a Jimmy G, you'd be a little bit more excited than Gardner Minshew. I would be, at least.
Yeah, but.
And I like Gardner Minshew. I don't think that's a bad signing. Just where the Cardinals are today, we expected more. Nobody saw that signing coming. Nobody. Even Gardner Minshew was like, really? Arizona wants me?
The Cardinals are on the phone?
But this is what I get kind of excited about, though, in terms of this group of people and what Monty Osford did yesterday. Traditionally, with the Cardinals, Dale, on day 1, what are we doing?
You stand by the sideline.
We're sitting here just going, and they'll sign somebody, and you're like, okay, whatever. They went out and pinpointed and said, we need to improve these 3 positions: wide receiver, offensive line, running back. And they did it. They went and did it. There's no doubt about it. barring these guys stay healthy, because that's another track record with Monty's free agent signings, Dale. Barring they stay healthy, they've improved 3 need positions, and they didn't improve it by just a little bit. They improved them by a lot. And that's fantastic. Cardinals traditionally don't do that. Or is this a new era here?
My question is because to me it makes it fascinating. By signing Ciamulo, we'll learn how to pronounce his name as the season comes upon us.
Well, now that I jokingly did that, I'm not going to be able to say it properly the rest of the day.
Does that preclude them from taking a lineman at 3?
No, I think, okay, to me, Fanu makes more sense now, doesn't he? Doesn't that make more sense right now?
Because of the short arms of Ngannou from Miami?
Doesn't an offensive lineman make a little bit more sense right now than a Jeremiah Love does?
Just look at the signings and you look at the re-signing.
Yeah, they're focusing on the offensive line.
And you re-sign the running back who got hurt last year. What's the name? Connor.
Yes. That tells me one thing. They're focusing on this offensive running game and the pocket. So there'll be a passing game, but they're focusing on that. Now, they signed Roy Lopez is coming back from Detroit from last year. He, of course, was here before. We'll talk about that in a minute. But they focused on 3 positions you need to improve. I'm not going to be shocked if they go. I wouldn't go offensive lineman at 3. I try to trade down and then do it. But it makes perfect sense to me now why they're looking at a tackle coming up in this draft.
Yeah, because they still need a right tackle.
Yeah. One spot they need. They just showed us we need help in these boom, boom, boom positions. What's the other big position they need on offense? Another tackle. To me, it makes sense that they're going running back more than a Jeremiah Love type player. That was my conclusion yesterday. Now, it could change. There's other things that could happen coming up. But they sent a message yesterday, I think. I'm reading this as they sent a message.
Right.
And that message was, we're not going to have this giant, colossal garbage offensive line this year where patchwork and get beat constantly. We're not doing that anymore. How did the Rams play, Dale? Like when you watch the Rams or even the Seahawks, he was up there in Seattle when they started revamping their offense and stuff like that. Offensive line out is how they did it. Now, you got to have a good quarterback. I get it. But like you said, Matthew Stafford, clean pocket. He stays healthy all year long because he gets a clean pocket, finds the open receivers, able to hit them. I believe Jacoby Brissett and I believe Gardner Minshew, if he has to play, can hit open receivers. We saw that with Brissett last year. He could hit guys if he had time in the pocket. Where he struggled was guys in his face and collapsing the pocket on him and getting hit. Cardinals are, I'm going to say, punting on the quarterback position this year. We're going to survive with Brissett and Minshew. But in 2 years, if we bring in a young guy, or they draft Ty Simpson this year, in 2 years, our offensive line is going to be dominant. And that's what I think they're building towards, is what they told me yesterday. It's going to be fun to watch. The bad side is the quarterback situation. Like I said, a lot of people, by the way, not only Isaac Seumalo, not only was he the best in terms of guards, in terms of his pass blocking, 76.4. I'm sorry, in terms of his error rate there, 76.4 pass blocking grade last year, 7th among guards. They signed a top 10 guard in this league in a 3-year, $31.5 million deal yesterday. He's an improvement over last year, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Here's the bad part. A lot of people look at the guards and the offensive line, but they're not going to get excited about that signing. They were looking at the quarterback. A lot of people wanted Malik Willis there, right, and stuff to that effect.
Yes.
I don't agree with that at all. I would have been happy with a Kirk Cousins for a couple of years, a Jimmy G in here to kind of run the offense. Even if Brissett won the starting job, at least have some competition in there with guys. You can kind of get like, okay, they're doing this for a couple of years, and then we can move on, right, and that stuff. The problem is when you sign Gardner Minshew and you have Brissett on here, they're combined 37 and 75 as NFL starters. nobody's getting excited about.
And it's always fascinating to me because fans are one thing. And again, they're willing to pay. They were willing to pay Malik Willis $30 million a year.
The fans were.
Yes.
Well,
based on 28 drop back passes.
Last year.
Was his map.
And in Titans land, he couldn't hit an open receiver to save his life.
And so it's like I'm not surprised, nor am I disappointed that they didn't really pursue him, or whatever happened, they didn't get it.
They probably heard early on he wasn't coming here, is what I guess. So how fast he signed with Miami tells me the Cardinals were told he ain't coming to you. He's going with his old defensive coordinator down there to Miami. It's fascinating. It's amazing how their signings yesterday, if you take away the quarterback and you look at it, you should be excited what the Cardinals did yesterday. But isn't that amazing how one position, because of what it means to you, what it means to a team, it feels like there's a damper on yesterday because I feel like they just settled. And then it's also discouraging, Dale, that they couldn't get Jimmy G. It hit a snag. Well, if you want to go play for somebody and all that stuff, what snag are you hitting? So it feels like we're now. It's kind of like with LaFleur. Oh yeah, hey, we want you, LaFleur, but we're going to still go interview this guy up in Seattle, even though you're our guy. We're going to still go interview this guy. And now it's we lost out on Malik Willis. Well, that's disappointing. Because I didn't want Malik Willis here, but it's disappointing. We lost to Miami for Malik Willis, folks. Then you find out they pivoted to Jimmy G, and he's like, yeah, no thanks. No thanks. I like the adult film stars here in the Valley of California. That's what I'm going to say. And so he passes on you, and you're like, okay, we'll stick with Gardner Minshew then.
I want to keep on practicing next electrical plant.
Well, that's San Francisco.
Oh, that's right.
But isn't it amazing how the Cardinals can constantly, even when it's a decent signing, they can make you feel like they had to settle for somebody? LaFleur, they made you feel like they had to settle for him because they still went out and interviewed Seattle guy. Like, we can't get him, so let's go. We'll go with LaFleur. And then it's like, we can't get Malik Willis. Jimmy G doesn't want to come here. We got to get him Gardner Minshew. He's the guy we always wanted. We always wanted Gardner Minshew here. I've eyed Gardner Minshew. That's going to be the press conference, Dale. I've been looking at Gardner Minshew for 7 years and always trying to figure out a way to get him here. Finally, we were able to do it. But he's the third option that we know about going into this. Leave it to the Cardinals on days where they got the Algier from Atlanta, who's a good back, folks. They get a guy that stepped up last year with the 49ers and caught some good balls and Bourne up there in Niners land. You get the number 3 guard in the free agency, and you get all 3 of those guys, and you still feel let down because the Cardinals couldn't get the guys they wanted as head coach and a quarterback, and you feel slighted still. That's what the Cardinals give us, Dale. That. Disappointment. Even when they do good. 37-75 record as NFL starting quarterbacks. That's why it's tough to be a Cardinals fan, folks. 3 good things, but all overshadowed because it looks like they had to settle for Gardner.
You know what? You look at that perception thing a lot more than I have, but there is something to it.
You're not calling me crazy this time?
Well, we both talked about the coaching situation where if this is the guy you wanted.
And I believe they wanted him. But just going to that next level,
right?
Knowing you weren't getting him makes it look like LaFleur wasn't your guy and you settled for him. And it's the same thing here in the quarterbacks. It's just, what are we doing?
I would love to hear what the snag was. Was it, hey, Brissett's our starting quarterback, you're coming here to be the backup?
And he's like, no, thanks. I'm comfortable being a backup in L.A.
Right.
But, I mean, he's not signed yet. Is L.A. even going to sign him back? Here's the other thing. They signed Gardner Minshew for $5.75 million, 1-year deal. Jimmy G, I think last year when I looked it up, I think he was a $7 million guy. Those numbers have come down Did the Cardinals say, we'll bring you in here for $5 million this year? And he's like, I can make 7 here.
Right.
I can make 7 someplace else. So they have lowballed him on the backside. That's the thing. That's the snag I want to know. Because saying I want to stay in LA is a back. Like my option is back up in Arizona, back up in LA. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm choosing back up in LA too.
No doubt about it.
So that's not, to me, that's not losing a guy. You're just losing him to a better situation. That would be like somebody coming in here and going, well, I'm choosing between your company, Steve, and ESPN. And I would go, well, that's not even a question. That wouldn't be like we lost the guy. It's like, no, he went to the better situation.
Right.
Type of a thing. It's not a slide at that point. But if it's because he couldn't be the starter and didn't want to come here, or they lowballed him, that's a different situation in my eyes. So it'll be interesting to see what Jimmy G does sign for when he does sign wherever he ends up at here coming up, because he's not, he's a free agent right now as well. So I'm looking it up here again because I want to make sure. I want to say it was a $10 million deal last year. Okay, I apologize. $11 million deal last year. 1 year, $11 million is what he signed last year.
And so if they're offering 6,
yeah,
to be a backup here,
even if the Rams give him a pay cut this year, they're not going down to 5 or 6, are they?
You wouldn't think so,
because you wouldn't take it, right? You're like, I'll pay for a discount. I ain't paying for that big of a discount, type of a thing. So I mean, it could be money, and that would be disappointing as well, to be honest with you. Yeah. So that's the cornerback situation. In terms of running backs out there, Kenneth Walker III, we told you yesterday, signed with the Chiefs. 3-year, $43.05 million. I think that's the loss that's going to hurt the Seahawks the most. Now, they have another running back there. They were tandem. But I think that's the loss that the Seahawks are going to be most hurt with. Kobe Bryant, they already had somebody ready to start in his spot. Kenneth Walker will be interesting to see how that offense changes.
Always scares me when you sign a guy who's a Super Bowl MVP.
That's issue number 2.
It's not like it's not like he gained 1,500 yards and was dominant all year long. He had a nice playoff run and a great Super Bowl.
And he had somebody else that ran the ball as well. That kind of play off each other. Travis Etienne signed with the Saints, 4 years, $52 million. Dale, that tells me Alvin Kamara is going to be available here soon. Now, I wouldn't sign him. He's an injury-prone guy and stuff like that. But some team's going to pay Kamara a lot of money to come join them. But that tells me he might be on his way out officially as well. The Cowboys got Javonte Williams again. He re-signs with the Cowboys. 3 years, $24 million to your boys there. I like the way he runs. Offensive line suspect with the Cowboys right now, but I like the way he runs. We just see where he goes. Steelers signed Rice Dowdle. Rico Dowdle. I'm hungry. He signed with the Steelers, 2 years, $12.25 million. Same price, by the way, that Cardinals got Algier here as well. J.K. Dobbins went back to the Broncos, 2 years, $16 million. Kenneth Gainwell, I have no idea who he even played for. Signed with the Bucs yesterday, 2 years, $14 million for him on that list as well. Interesting enough, Amari DiMarcado. No interest yesterday. I mean, he's going to be a second-tier free agent guy or a third-tier. Not even like any rumors or anything on him because you can get him fairly cheap. As long as he doesn't drop the ball running to the end zone. He can be a good third down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey, the big thing we got to talk about, we told you Alec Pierce re-signed with the Colts, full years, $116 million. Good for him. That kid's a stud. But Mike Evans signing with the 49ers.
I was going to say, when were you going to bring that up, Steve?
The deal.
That woke you up from a nap.
Well, it's because it was electrifying. I love Mike Evans as a receiver. I love him. He's one of the best receivers in this game. 10 years, just broke. He wasn't able to get 1,000 yards last year. But in his older age now, been in the league for 10, 11, 12 years. Last year was a tough year with injuries. And he's had injuries creeping in the last few years and stuff like that. I don't care if you believe in this electricity thing or not. I ain't taking chances if I'm Mike Evans. That is a solid pickup for the Niners if he can stay healthy. He's one of the best receivers in the league.
Very much so.
But can he stay healthy? I mean, dare I say this? They're going to be a lot. What's the kid's name that went to ASU, and I'm forgetting it right now? The guy that didn't want to play for him anymore? I know. We're on the same boat on this. This is a huge increase over him, even if he played last year.
Yeah,
Mike Evans is the 49ers just wave a wand and get better players every year in positions they need. And first of all, Niners, it needs to stop. I'm sick of it.
What is his
Ayuk.
name? Yeah, Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, Ayuk. I knew it was going to come to me. I don't know why.
And nobody knows what happened.
He just decided he didn't want to play football anymore.
He stopped returning phone calls.
Which was weird after he was holding out and doing all that garbage, and they gave him what he wanted, and then he's like, yeah, it's still not going to want to play.
I can't imagine a head coach and general manager calling you and just not returning the call.
Not even like a text like, hey, I'm at the movies. I'll call you when I'm done, and then forget to call back. Like, not even that. But the Niners just went out and just improved their team yesterday, barring he's healthy. But I don't know. If you're Mike Evans and you have that hamstring and a collarbone and all that, I don't know if you're going to be anywhere near, whether you believe it or not. There's just some things you're going to take into account, right?
Electrical stimulation, Steve, probably strengthen his injuries.
Probably make him all superhuman.
Yeah.
More so. But in all seriousness, I'm just tired of the Niners just getting the best guys out there.
Perfect receiver for Brock Purdy.
I think so.
You know, and with the tight end there and
yeah.
And the running back, my goodness.
Yeah, I think going into this in free agency, I did not see the Niners improving their receiving cores like they did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was just an unbelievable signing. Look, if Mike Evans had a ton of success, I'm a Baker Mayfield guy, but he's not a prototypical type quarterback. Doesn't always throw the ball perfectly, stuff to that effect. If you can play well with him, he's going to play well with Brock Purdy.
Yes.
It's going to be fun to watch. Not for his Cardinals fans, but in terms of football fans out there, it's going to be interesting. Rashid Shaheed re-signs with the Seahawks, 3 years, $51 million for him as well. Titans helping their young quarterback out. Wan'Dale Robinson signs with the Titans, 4 years, $70 million as well. Here's some names for you out there, Dale, that are interesting to me. Now, it's going to command because they're older now, right? Tyler Lockett's available on the free agent market. Older players, how much are they going to get? You still have Greg Dortch available. I like him out of the slot, just a matter of they see him. I see him like a Puka Nacua type player. I'm not putting him in the same category, but every time Dortch gets the ball in short positions, man, he's magical with it. I like to see that kind of happen there. But the bigger names out there, of course, Tyreek Hill, but he's coming off a major injury.
Right.
But Deebo Samuel, Romeo Dobbs out there, Stephon Diggs, which, I'm going to be shocked if he's on a team. Maybe he's one of those that signs during training camp or something. The off-the-field stuff with him, I think, is his problem more than the talent side of it. But Keenan Allen, still out there. Christian Kirk, still out there. Just saying. There's no spot for Christian Kirk, though, now that you signed born from the Niners. But there's some names out there. I love me some Keenan Allen. Now, I know he's older. Darnell Mooney, who, of course, was released by the Falcons. Some big names out there still on the receiver side. Be interested to see what they signed for, not in this first wave of signings out there. When we come back, let's get into the defensive side of the ball. Cardinals signed somebody yesterday that I argued last year, Dale, they lost the heart of this defense by letting several guys go last year.
Right.
And they upped it with draft picks and big name signings. Maybe they realized that themselves with at least one signing back here. We'll talk about it. Come on back. Main event. different. Oh, Ethan's hitting buttons over there and everything. It's all right, Ethan. We can leave them both up there. Ethan filling in for Kobe today is Kobe did McCollum on business, wasn't feeling well, and so we got him out of here. It says he ate something this morning and just hit him during the morning McCollum on business, but that's up on demand right now for you as well. Dale, just to warn you, you're going to be on camera when you come in, so don't do anything stupid when you sit down, like fall or something, because you're going to be embarrassed there. So Ethan stepping into the role as he's here on spring break the next couple of weeks. So he's coming. He's off tomorrow, but he's coming in next couple of days as well out there. Just really quick, we talked about the wide receivers, running backs, and things available. Tight ends, Dallas Goedert, as I like to call him, is available out there as well. Travis Kelce. Isaiah Likely signing with the Giants, going, of course, with Harbaugh to the Giants, 3 years, $40 million. I never could figure out why the Ravens kind of soured on him.
Right.
I think it was the money. They didn't want to pay the money out there. But going back with the Giants there, Tyler Higbee re-signed with the Rams, which I think is a great signing for them. David Njoku is still available out there. Zach Ertz, obviously an older player in Zach Ertz from that perspective.
Coming off injury.
Exactly. Tight ends, not that we need a tight end here, Dale, but I'm surprised that Dallas Goedert is still out there. But older player as well going into that side. But the Cardinals yesterday lost Jalen Thompson, 2. And you got to give the credit to the Cowboys for this. They actually did something good. Jalen Thompson, who came in supplemental draft here to Arizona, earned his starting spot and it's kind of ruled back there with Budda Baker for the Cardinals. Well, now he's off to the Cowboys, so Cardinals do lose him. And that's a heck of a pickup there for the Cowboys, in my opinion, on that secondary. Then we talked about this during the season, bringing in, and I don't blame, Josh Sweat for the Cardinals' defensive line stuff. He got injured this year, played through it, still had a ton of sacks and things. But the Cardinals let, we talked about it, Kazir White go, right?
The long-haired guy.
The long-haired guy that I wanted to say go there, but that's not his name. They let him go in the middle. They brought the 2 draft picks that got injured and things to that effect this year, so they didn't get to play well and stuff. They let Roy Lopez leave, and he went to Detroit for a year. Well, they went out there and they re-signed Roy Lopez to 2 years, $11.5 million yesterday. I don't know if this is the case, but obviously the Cardinals are keeping the same defensive coordinator and Nick Rallis going into this. This just gives me hopes that Cardinals, at least Nick Rallis, realizes maybe he's missing some of that heart and soul of that defense last year, and he wants to bring back that type of a character, those types of motors back. Because Roy Lopez isn't going to light your hair on fire. Roy Lopez, after a game, you're not going to go sign him up for the Pro Bowl. But he's a big motor, Dale. He does what's necessary. He disrupts when necessary out there. You've seen that with him along with the other guys that are gone. So maybe this is a comeback here of now they re-signed LJ Collier as well. But maybe this is the sign of the Cardinals realized they lost some of that motor, some of that heart that they had 2 years ago and 3 years ago when they were up and coming. And last year they lost that. So they're bringing it back. I hope so. I really hope Roy Lopez comes back in there. We see more of that heart back there in the middle again.
Right. And I think they probably did decide that they're missing some of that. Yeah. And
because why else would you bring him back after letting him go? You generally don't see guys come back here,
Right.
And so that's what kind of hit me on that signing is that gives me some hope here that they. And it's not an attack on the rookies that were injured last year. Like Walter Nolan has that motor and that heart. He's just got to get healthy. So Roy Lopez is going to be a good guy to go in there, and if he does have to play more and stuff like that, it's going to be fun to see. And I like it. I just wish they wouldn't have gotten rid of those guys on the first part. So on the defensive side, yeah, losing Jalen Thompson sucks. They need that position, folks, right? They need that position better than anything. I think Budda looked old at the end of last year. I don't think he's.
He was worn down.
I don't think he's going to be, a top of level player all 16 games like he has been before. And that's where Jalen Thompson. Plus, you like the story of a guy coming in on a supplemental draft, having to earn the spot, gets it, leader on the team. You like to hear those stories as well. But the Cardinals spent $74.97 million on 5 players. But like I said earlier, all positions that they need and all positions of guys that have shown they can play in the NFL.
I just wanted to make sure Roy Lopez, same guy I was thinking about, he grew up here in the Valley.
He did. His dad was the coach over at Desert Ridge a couple years ago. I don't know where he went.
He went to Mesquite.
Did he go to Mesquite? Yeah, he was on that coaching staff 2 years ago and before that. And then when that staff was blown out, last year's staff came in and he left. So he did. Oh, he went to Mesquite.
Yeah, and went to Mesquite High School.
His dad's coached for a lot of years.
Yes,
Absolutely.
he has.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I was just looking I pulled up his high school, and these stats come up.
Where did he go to high school at? I don't know the answer to that.
Mesquite High School.
Oh, Roy Lopez went to Mesquite?
Yeah.
So his dad's coaching at Mesquite? No, where's his dad coaching at?
He's bounced around.
I don't know where he is now. After
remember,
Desert Ridge, I don't know where he went. I'm sorry. I confused that. Yeah, Roy Lopez played in Mesquite. That's why I thought his dad went back there to coach. But after his dad left Desert Ridge a couple years ago, I don't know where he ended up at.
He was ranked the 2,365th best high school player. Coming out in his class, went to New Mexico State, and now he is making $5.5 million a year.
New Mexico State, right? That's the Lobos.
Yep.
Down there in by El Paso.
Yes.
I get
Las Cruces.
Las Cruces. There we go. Yeah. So, I'm just looking here because that's Roy Lopez Sr. I just want to see where he's at now, just because
He might be retired. His son today, Pops. Take it easy for a little bit.
I know when he was at Desert Ridge that year, he hired in 2021 at Desert Ridge. Let's see. He was coached at Marcos de Niza before that, an 88-32 record there. State final appearance at Marcos de Niza. Yeah, Desert Ridge is the last place they have listed here. So 2021, and then this year was a different coach. The year before was his final year there as well. So.
Okay.
But he went to Desert Ridge after the guy that's now at Perry. He went up north, and then he went to Mesa last year. Starts with an H. He was there. Yeah, he was there after him. So yeah, here it says it doesn't have anything listed. Doesn't mean he's not coaching. It just means that's what at least listed there as well.
$7.5 million guaranteed.
Yeah, nice rough, huh?
We can buy a nice house down there.
You think Cardinals could use somebody with some coaching experience on that team? This is even if it's a deal, help the kid out, right? Right, Dale?
Wow.
right, Dale? Even Arizona State, get some more recruiting juice in there, stuff to that effect. But so he's back now. So projected offensive line for the Cardinals going this year, obviously left tackle Paris Johnson Jr. That's not changing.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac Siamalu, left guard. So those two on that side, Dale. I'm sorry. That side should be pretty safe that you don't have to worry about somebody.
You feel pretty comfortable there.
Yeah. Obviously, Froholt in the center there. Isaiah Adams, right guard, still listed there. Obviously, like you said, they do need another right tackle there. Just saying, it makes sense. You're going to go with a certain guy in a draft that everybody's mocking.
One of those, if that's what you're going to do, please don't take him at 3.
That's my problem. That's my only problem.
Please don't take him at 3.
Get
another 2. Trade down 3 or 4 spots. Again, you need bodies.
Yes.
You need players.
They filled some gaps here. I saw something yesterday.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it's true or not. I just popped up on my feed from a couple sources out there where it said Josh Sweat doesn't want to be on this team with Jonathan Gannon being fired. I don't know if it wasn't somebody that I believe or anything to that effect or whatnot. But it did raise the question in my mind. I mean, he came here for Jonathan Gannon.
Well, he also knew Nick Rawlins, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but he came here for Jonathan Gannon. He wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jonathan Gannon.
Well, he also came here because the Cardinals paid a lot of money.
Yeah, but does that change your attitude a little bit about playing this year, if you know what I mean? I'm not saying Josh Sweat's that guy, but it did make me wonder that, but just seeing that post. It made me go, you know what, that's a good point. Because I've had bosses move on and another boss come in, and you're just like, I hate this guy. I do not want to work for this guy at all. So you still do your job or whatever, but you're not doing the little extra. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe he gets that hitch straightened out that you didn't notice till 3/4 of the way.
He actually had a knee injury that he kept playing through. Yeah, that came out after the season.
Okay.
The interesting thing was, and that was the issue though. That was the defense being called, where they instead of having him just stay at the line, they were like, "Hey, follow that tight end down the field." That's where I noticed it. Was he was running that one time, right? And stuff like that. I'm trying to pull up a mock draft here real quick, just to see. Now they're not going to change it that quick to where they're going to do the mock draft there, but everybody had the offensive tackles there in that third spot. So right now it's 13-7 Arizona State over Baylor. By the way, for those of you interested in maybe Bobby Hurley's final game in Kansas City, do you think after this game you go get some barbecue and relax a little bit if you lose it, or you win it? You run up that expense report a little bit higher. If you're Bobby Hurley.
I think you do either way, don't you?
Yeah, you just go and you get that little extra. You pay for the extra sauce when you go into.
Well, and if you lose, you might have a few beers.
Exactly.
Or a few more.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. You have to be careful though, because you could get fired. Then you can't run it up. You need to win this game, run it up after the game, and then when you let go after the next game, then it's not as then you have to fight it as much, right? Type of a thing. All right, so here we go. Obviously, first of all, I like what the Raiders did yesterday. Now I know.
Whoa.
Now I know why that guy wanted to sign with the Raiders, the head coach there. That I'm forgetting his name right now, from Seattle. Kubiak. I know why he wanted to go to the Raiders. They told him in the hiring process, we are going to spend an ungodly amount of money on guys to help your team out in this offseason. And they're doing it.
Do you think
they got that center from Baltimore?
Linderbaum?
Oh, my God. That's huge increase. That's a huge, huge signing for the Raiders.
Don't you think that this shows a little bit of the imprint of one Tom Brady?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He got to Mark Davis, right? I do know Mark Davis is still in control of the team, but I do know things have been deferred to Tom Brady.
You've got to believe that.
I've been told that by several people, that Tom Brady is running everything to a certain extent and has a say in everything. But oh my God, when they signed Lindenbaum at center, I was like, oh, all right, well they're spending money, and then it was like another player and another, and I was just like, what? Well, that's what happens when you have $100 million in salary cap or whatever they had. Now you can go spend it out there. ESPN has a mid free agency, so 2026 NFL mock draft top 10 pick predictions off of free agency. So they let day one of free agency happen yesterday, and they put this out. Maybe my theory's wrong, Dale, on the offensive tackle here. Raiders, of course, Fernando Mendoza. They're setting him up to succeed down over there in Las Vegas with their signings yesterday. New York Jets, David Bailey, edge, Texas Tech. That actually surprises me. Bailey's a good edge, but I don't think that improves your team very much if you're the Jets with all the holes you've got there.
Right.
Who are they signing for a quarterback, by the way? Arizona Cardinals. Arvell Reese, edge, Ohio State.
Yeah, I saw that.
No.
Are they targeting their defensive line? They want to rebuild that. You got the 2 first-round picks, and hopefully.
That's the thing. You should have 2 healthy inside guys coming back. You obviously have Josh Sweat coming back.
Roy Lopez now.
Yeah, he'll rotate into the. He's more of the middle guy, Roy Lopez, right? He's not an outside guy. So you do need, another edge there, but I'd rather have as much as I don't want to take a tackle at 3, I'd rather have a tackle than an edge at 3.
Unless he's a home wrecker.
Well, that's the difference. If your defensive line can.
That guy from Houston, The outside linebacker, Will Anderson.
Oh, Anderson, yeah.
I'll take him.
That's what Josh Sweat's supposed to be.
Well, you just got to tell me that he doesn't want to play for the Cardinals anymore.
I said it just that little blurb I saw on the social medias yesterday, which I don't necessarily believe. I kind of went, oh, I can get that. Like, he's still going to play hard. Don't get me wrong. He's not that type of player. It's just you don't do the little extra, right? That's where he goes. But that's the other side. Working with Nick Rawls last year, you're probably not going to see that as well. Tennessee Titans, Cornell Tate, wide receiver from Ohio State. Oh, look at this. They have 3 Ohio State players going in a row. New York Giants, Caleb Downs, safety, Ohio State for that. Look at this. Francis Muagoa, offensive tackle, Miami, going to the Cleveland Browns.
You with the short arms?
So he's coming back, yeah, because he dropped into the teens when that arm measurement came out.
Right.
So he's coming back up. Jeremiah Love, Washington Commanders, actually. Him on the Commanders, that might be pretty exciting with Jaden Daniels back there. New Orleans Saints, Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State. What name haven't we said yet, though, Dale?
Yeah, we've said your boy.
Fano. Yeah.
You haven't said that.
Kansas City Chiefs, Delane, cornerback from LSU. Cincinnati Bengals, edge. They need to replace Hendrickson, which I did see. Trey Hendrickson's asking for $20 million a year for his free agent deal. And he's still available. That tells me teams aren't willing to pay. Why are teams not willing to pay him that? That dude is dominant.
There's got to be something that scares teams away about him. He plays.
I'd cut that check today for him. But that's the problem. With what he did in Cincinnati, maybe that's what's scaring people off.
A few people have done that in Cincinnati.
I know, that's the point. Ruben Baines Jr., edge Miami to the Bengals. That's what made me think of Hendrickson there as well. So, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah. By the way, the number 1 player, the Cardinals, everybody seems to be thinking the Cardinals will draft at some point in this draft. And they'll have to either trade back up into the first round or kind of, quote unquote, get lucky at the top of the second round. Because I think somebody's going to take him at the bottom of the first. Ty Simpson. Everybody is linking Ty Simpson to the Cardinals at the end of the first round coming up here, even after yesterday and everything. So, and he is the second-rate quarterback going into this draft as of now. But so I don't know, man. I don't like the edge. I like the edge less than I like the offensive tackle. But like you said, if he's a homewrecker out there, and him and Josh Sweat on those sides, and then you got those boys in the middle this year, that might actually be a lot of fun. Keep that running game at bay and make guys have to fight to complete passes and stuff. That might be fun.
It's going to be interesting to see. The one name that you didn't say in those top 10, and I've heard now into the 20s, is your boy from ASU, Jordan Tyson.
He fell down into the high teens, low 20s. Well, his pro day might change that because he didn't do anything except lift the weights, which. Almost a record for wide receivers in terms of weights and reps on there. I think his injury issue is going to be the problem. If your back was an issue 40 years ago, your hamstring and your collarbone and your injury issues at Arizona State have to be a concern.
As a wide receiver?
Yes, right? Doesn't mean you're not going to take him. It just means you're not going to take him as high as you normally would take.
Right.
He was supposed to be a top 10 pick. Maybe his pro day will change that up a little. I do think not participating in the combine did hurt him. I would have dropped him down if I was a team for not just even if it was lightly jogging at the compound the combine out there as well. So it's interesting. So let's see here really quick. See what's breaking right now, Dale. Anything breaking on your end?
Nothing other than your ASU Sun Devils are rocking and rolling.
Convinced. Of course, everybody, a lot of big people reporting Bobby Hurley is going to be let go after this year. After this next game, he loses. We'll have to wait and see how fast they pull that because it's coming. In terms of Major League Baseball, like I said, we'll talk Diamondbacks as the week goes on here. But Corbin Carroll could debut in a Cactus League game at some point. This week, folks, They said it probably wouldn't be back until start of the season, closer to the start of the season.
How do you make a bone heal quicker?
It's not they take the bone out. So the reason why it takes so long to recover from, because you have a giant hole in your hand that has to close up and heal. You can't reopen it. No, they actually take I know I joke around and call it the ham bone. But the hamate bone, they actually just take it out of your hand. Yeah. It's broken. They go, oh, you don't need that anymore. Which is weird because I've never felt it before, but touch your hand right here. You could feel the hamate bone right there. It's just this, why is this bone even there? Why do we need a bone that starts right here and only goes to right here? My big thing, Dale, is first of all, that's a fast recovery from it.
Yeah.
And I've read the recovery from this. The only bad thing that happens to you is I've read that you don't get your power back fast.
Yeah.
The power is the one thing you're missing. But I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, it's great when Corbin Carroll hits home run. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be upset if he hits singles, doubles, and triples all season long and doesn't hit as many home runs.
Right.
Because that's spectacular. He puts pressures on the defense with getting on base. So I'm not going to be too upset with him not hitting as much home runs this year, if that is the case, where he doesn't get that power back for him as well. So it'll be kind of fun to watch here. But getting back into spring training, I don't know if I'd rush him, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd probably wait till next week. You got Merrill Kelly. He's scheduled to make a debut.
He's been throwing off the back mounds and everything and looks good. From what I was reading, I think Tori said it yesterday, or maybe Merrill said it. My favorite thing is Merrill Kelly breaks his own news all the time, which is great. He's had no issues since that cortisone shot.
I love him.
So that nerve issue. How does your nerve just start hurting like that is the question.
Well, it could be impinged. It could, you might have slept wrong that
night. In the
night.
middle of your back like that?
Yeah.
Like there's no bones around it where they said it was.
You got your spine, and you got lots of bones back there, Steve. Us muscular athletes.
Maybe that's my problem. I was one of those fat athletes. That Arizona State plays Arizona tonight, Phoenix Municipal Stadium. For baseball, 6:35 p.m. first pitch out there. We'll see if Arizona State can keep that rolling. Bobby Hurley and his squad, Dale. Maybe we're wrong. Last thing I want to say on quarterbacks right here. ESPN Stat Info put this out yesterday, and I saw this out there. QB drafting and development. Folks, if you don't know, QB drafting in the NFL is a crapshoot. And most of the time you fail when you draft a quarterback in that, at least you're the regular team. Kyler Murray, 7th straight QB drafted first overall by his team and didn't make until the age of 30 with that team.
And didn't make what?
Didn't make age 30 with that team.
Oh.
Cut before age 30 for the original team.
Wow.
Who was the last quarterback to be drafted by a team and make it to age 30 with that team? Hint, I just told you, it's been 7 number 1 draft picks at QBs. You have to go back 7 number 1 draft picks to get to this.
And you're talking about the number 1 overall?
Number 1 overall.
Oh.
You draft number 1 overall, that quarterback is supposed to be your franchise for the next 20 years.
15.
They don't, but even at 15. But they don't make it, Dale. No. They don't make it that far.
I have no idea.
Matthew Stafford.
What's he been playing? 20 years?
Yeah. Well, all with Detroit until, of course, they traded him. But he was the last one.
Wow.
That's how long ago it was, folks. You don't draft a quarterback number 1 every year in the league. So my point is, just because you get we know this with Kyler Murray, but just because you get the number 1 draft pick, Vegas, doesn't mean you nail it.
I like Mendoza.
I love the thing that worries me about him, Dale, and this is so bad for me to say, is it's off the field. But it's not because he's going to get in trouble with this off the field. It's that he's so like nerdy weird that I don't know how that's going to play in Vegas with the players on that team. You know what I'm saying? He's a little off on that side.
I think you're searching.
He's not a Josh Allen, stoic and I do this. I'll never forget when he won in that with the SEC championship game. He's just like, that was so much fun. I can't believe we did that. Hey, let's keep going. And it was like, what? Oh, in the SEC, it would have been, of course, Big Ten. But it was just funny. I was just like, whoa, take a deep breath, Tiger. Vegas won't ruin him. That's one thing I'm confident of. But how does his teammates put up with that? Oh, shucks attitude that he has.
If he's throwing touchdown passes,
they won't care?
No.
Well, they got the drama king out of there, Max Crosby, so that's a plus for them. But, yeah, interesting stat there on the quarterbacks. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow, of course, here on the main event, McCollum on Business at 7. We'll get this up on demand right now on the YouTube page and, of course, podcast systems. Pit stop tomorrow. We'll look back at Phoenix, look ahead to Texas for IndyCar this weekend, and Las Vegas for the NASCAR boys as well. We're busy around here, folks. Come and join us, would you? Let's see what the Cardinals do today. Dale, nothing. I predict nothing. ASU's up big.
Oh, probably sleeping in.
You think that's what they're going to do? My favorite tweet yesterday was somebody goes, Monty Ossenforth this morning waking up at 11 going, oh, that's today? ASU had a big lead, 29-21, Arizona State now. 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes to go here in the first. I'm torn if I want ASU to win this game or not. Just need the Bobby Hurley era to end. Come on back, folks. We'll talk about it later. See ya.